Hey everybody, welcome to 50/50 Booking. I'm Peter, hello, and over that way is Aaron. He's
Hello.
been whoring his Twitch.
Hello, Bearded.
So, yay! He's been having lots of fun and games for everything. So,
Yeah.
let's get it up here. Ooh, there we go, lighting. That's better. I forgot to do something. Been very much rushy today, people. Been a lot on. It's just that time. There's stuff going on. Yeah, just get notifications about snowfall possibilities coming up our way. Haven't had any yet though over here in the UK. Here in good old London. Aaron, on the other hand,
Yeah, I got about 2 inches of snow outside.
it's the most inches he's ever had.
What can I say? Some of my exes have been small.
There you go. So there is a question, but I'm keeping it to myself. Right. Sometimes you do have to be a grown up.
That's what she said.
Is she Kaylee? Do you mean?
I'm not going to ask you that question, actually, because that could turn out really bad.
Yeah, I'd say I wouldn't.
Yes, just a weekly podcast on wrestling, Chef. Oh, I might be on Fortnite a little bit later, I don't know.
Yeah, we're going to try and be as quick as we can for this because I've been very busy doing tax returns and various bits and pieces for the job. I'm sure Aaron's had plenty of stuff to do because I've noticed you've been streaming a lot too because I've seen the notifications and stuff, obviously, when you do it. So
No, yeah, I've been just trying to grind out to partner on Twitch and also get my hours up as much as I can. Because obviously, the income's currently coming to me, so it's going towards the wedding, and we've got things to pay for, like the photographer.
It's not my new mug.
I can't read what it says from here. With a great beard comes great responsibility. Oh well, I mean, Bearded Chef can probably agree with that. Is that an early Christmas present?
Birthday, dude. Birthday.
Birthday.
But
The
my
one day of
birthday's
the year
flushed.
that it doesn't work.
Yeah, quite literally. Well, I am thinking of expanding it next year because I think it's about time I did less.
Yeah. I need one of those mugs, but it needs tash on it only because, beard's just a no-go for me.
Yeah, with a great tash comes great responsibility. Sure.
Doesn't really have the same ring to it though, does it?
I would say with a great porn tash comes great responsibility, but
Hey, I've got the goatee too. It's not a porn tash.
but that's why I wouldn't say that because obviously it's not a porn tash. It's just word-wise, it works better.
Yeah. Yeah, beards are the way forward, says the Bearded Chef.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure Santa Claus agrees with you.
Well, that cheapskate only has it like on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. He's got no fucking facial hair the rest of the year.
I mean, I haven't shaved in a couple of days and I've already got stubble underneath my chin and I don't like it.
Yeah, for those of you that can see this, this is a few hours worth.
Yeah, I'm 2/3 of the way there.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I think I'd have to grow it all year round to get a significant beard.
To be fair, with this, with the way weather is at the moment, it's not bad. It wouldn't be a bad thing if I actually felt the cold, which I don't. So,
no, me and you are similar in that respect.
Oh yeah, it's been -4 here, 4 Celsius for obviously those who aren't English, and that's fairly cold for here. And I was out and about walking around doing stuff. People just give you the weirdest looks because you're not wrapped up like a fucking Eskimo.
Yeah.
I now know
I've
how.
been feeling it in my hands though quite a lot. Not gonna lie, like the cold.
I never get it in the hands. The only place I sometimes feel it is the tip of my nose.
Yeah. I
And
think
even,
it's where I've been like sat in the same place and not moving around as much. Because
probably.
obviously streaming.
So yeah, that probably can be a thing. But honestly, hands and feet, I've never had an issue. They're always warm.
Mhm.
Because all my any of my friends who are cold, they always run up to me and go, "Oh, you're warm." Tell you one thing: if you ever want random girls just to walk up and touch you, I did say if you wanted that. I'm not saying you should do it. To be very clear, because I've literally had it happen before in the past, and I'm not a fan of people I don't know touching me.
No, I'm aware. Like at school, it used to happen to me a lot. Whenever, like a girl was like cold, I was just like, "How are you cold?" And she'd come over and grab my hand. I was really like, "How the fuck are you not cold? Here, give me your hands for a second." I'd just be like, oh. "So, but I'm cold." No.
You're like, was this before or after puberty? Because if it was after puberty, you're lucky you didn't shove your hands up at top.
I think it was pre-puberty and after puberty as well. Pre-puberty, post-puberty. But yeah, that's anyway. We should probably move on to why we're here.
Well, we could, but it's kind of fun to be honest. But no, you're right. We probably should. So. And obviously, any of Aaron's viewers, obviously, if you have any questions or anything you want to ask in the meantime, it doesn't even matter about what we're talking about. Just send them a message. It's fine. We'll go from there. Obviously, those of you on YouTube, you know the deal anyway. So that's how it works. But obviously, we start with Raw on this show because that's just how it works.
We'd like to make our way through the week.
Yeah, we go in chronological order because if we did it reverse chronological, that would be kind of like hard to follow. I think for most people.
Yeah, and some of the storylines do run on both shows as well, so it makes sense to do it this way.
Yeah, you know, one time we should actually do it backwards and see if anyone notices.
I mean, it'd be interesting to see whether or not it actually makes sense because probably with WWE's booking, it probably would. Or we could just jumble them all up and hope for the best.
You mean we should like put a bunch of random shit together and see if it works?
That sounds like WWE creative.
Yeah, and like a Survivor match.
Now that you mention it.
Or should I say,
Jared's got a lawyer yet?
Well, considering he also now works for AEW, I think there may be a chance of
that. Possibly. But we digress. Next.
We do, but it is related to what we're talking about.
It is, but we're not quite there yet.
No, because we're starting with Raw, of course, which of course is not NXT, because it's for NXT. So we have to go all the way back to the beginning of Raw, where we were supposed to have a match with Elias and Matt Riddle against the Usos.
But instead, kicking off the show, we got the Bloodlines arrival, and Elias was taken out during this interview segment by Sikoa. They then went out into the ring, boasted a little about it, and Riddle still came out for the match, and he said he found a new tag team partner, and it was none other than Kevin Owens. So kind of the Bloodline fucked up, basically.
Yeah, they got him a better partner.
Yeah.
There's nothing against Elias, but Kevin Owens is a better wrestler.
Yeah, so we got the tag team title match as promised, but it wasn't the main event. It kicked off the show, which kind of confused me a little bit. But I mean, sure, why not?
Raw does a habit of doing that, though. They'll have that so-called big marquee match start the show.
I mean, that's fine as long as you have a big marquee match at the end of the show too. And from what I can remember, that didn't happen.
It was one of the three-way matches. It was the one with Bliss, Lynch, and Cross.
Because everybody likes a freeway. So many times we had it twice this show.
Oh, sorry, you meant match. Oh, sorry. I thought you meant something else. Anyway.
I wouldn't know. Never had one.
It's the only way to fly. No, I'm kidding.
Wowzers.
Okay, I'll say this and then we'll move on. Everyone should at least try it once.
Yeah, respectable.
I would say that one because you never know until you try. But anyway, yes, on with the show.
So, KO versus Riddle. KO and Riddle versus the Usos. Sorry, the Bloodline was all ringside. KO and Riddle obviously fell short because they wasn't going to give them the belts that easily. After the match, Sikoa took out Riddle with a tribute to his uncle Umaga with a Samoan spike, which has made a glorious return. As soon as I saw his thumb taped up like that, I was just like, oh, they're bringing that back then. And he then wrapped a steel chair around his neck and proceeded to, I don't know what that move is called, where they behind in the corner. Stinky face him, running stinky face in the corner with a steel chair wrapped around his neck.
Yeah, essentially, it's a reverse avalanche technically, but yeah, it'd be the stink face.
Yeah, sure. So Riddle was stretched out, and that was the end of that segment to open off to kick off the show. I didn't mind this, to be fair, but it felt a bit tacky.
I would go with it was okay.
Yeah. So following this, we had the first segment of JBL's Poker Invitational. Loomis brought his way into the games with cash, and that was fine because obviously last week he'd won a load of cash that the Miz owed him.
Right. Yeah. Fair enough. At least that makes sense. Sure.
Yeah. And following that, we had the first of the triple threat matches, which was Bayley versus Ripley versus Oscar. And the winner faces the winner of the other triple threat match.
Which we referred to earlier.
Yeah. Which is happening this Monday. But the weird thing was they said that it happened later on in the night. Yeah. But it didn't. It was scheduled for next Monday. It's like, if you're going to schedule it for next week, say next week. If you're going to schedule it for later on in the show, say later on in the show.
You know, they actually posted a result for that second triple threat match.
Yeah, I know. There's a fucking spoiler because I hadn't seen it yet. Which was like, WWE posted something on their story. It's like, this hasn't even happened yet. How the fuck do we know this?
Well, I could tell you how, but you might shatter your illusions about professional wrestling.
They were shattered a long time ago.
Was that before or no? Never mind. Let's keep going.
So I mean, Damage Control was not ringside either, which I liked, even though that was the case, Bayley advanced in this match. She won this.
To me, that makes no sense, though. If you're the heel in this scenario, which, let's be honest, she technically is, and you've got a faction, why would you not have your faction there?
I don't know. They could have been banned from ringside, but there was no mention of that. If they'd have said that they were banned from ringside, then that would have made sense.
And that's my point. They didn't explain the absence.
No.
Which I think is a
Following
bit
that,
weird.
though, we learned that McIntyre was injured apparently and out of the tag champion match on Friday, and would be replaced by Butch.
Yeah.
Didn't have a problem with that. I mean, it wasn't exactly like something we needed to know on Monday Night Raw, but at least it gave us a heads up for later on in the week in case they forgot to mention it on the show.
Which WWE have never done that.
No. Then we had a Seth Rollins segment, and we learned that Lashley versus Seth would happen next week for the #1 contendership spot for the US Championship. To be honest, I'm getting bored of this like United States love triangle between fucking Lashley, Rollins, and Theory. Why not just have like a battle royal with like all the roster and try and find like somebody new for Theory to face? I know Ali got in his space later on in the show and demanded an opportunity, but I mean we'll get to that later. But still, like new people here would be great.
Oh yeah, you need to have more people than even just these people. Anyway. Ali being involved is good though, but you're right. You need to have more people than just like the three.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, right? If you're part of that show, right? There's no world title because that's Roman on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Right. What are you vying for then if you're not going for the US title? If you're a singles wrestler.
24/7 title?
Which doesn't exist anymore, does it?
No.
So, all the other singles wrestlers should want that belt by that logic. So, where are they?
I don't know.
Yeah, this is part of my issue with this. This is why I'm agreeing with you, because you should have at least another 3-4 people who want to be involved in this minimum.
Yeah, I mean, during the segment, Steph came out, said a bit, basically drew the ire of Lashley. Lashley came out, they talked, ended up breaking down as these things usually do. Ended up basically chaos. Theory accepting, and then Theory was interviewed afterwards, and he got interrupted by Ali, who challenged him to a match, and Theory challenged him to a match actually. But he said if you lose, he didn't want to hear him say opportunity around him ever again.
I think that's fair.
So following this, well, actually, before we move on to that, why is everybody, like every single person that Lashley seems to get into an argument with lately, brings up Brock Lesnar? I know it's the one match that Lashley like wanted to win and didn't, but like it's just getting boring. Why are you constantly using that to draw the ire of him? Like there's got to be something else that can piss him off.
Because it's lazy, cheap writing.
Yeah, and repetitive writing at that.
Yeah. The only other thing you can really do, as far as Lashley goes, would be to make something of the fact he was in the military. But that's a big thing for an American to do with an American. So
yeah, so
Lesnar's the easier route, honestly.
Yeah. But following this, we had part 2 of the Poker Invitational, and Loomis and Corbin had an argument that was ended by Loomis placing an axe on the table.
As it would, yeah.
Then Tozawa won the hand on his table, and Dominic Mysterio tried to steal chips from him. He got caught by Tozawa and called a thief. And the funniest part about this was Dominic said, "If you have a problem with me, Tozawa, you have a problem with the Judgment Day." Tozawa just looked him blank in the face and said, "I don't care." And I was like, "Yes, thank you."
That should be his response to that. I mean, it's Dominic Mysterio. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, so both decided to go out to the ring and settle things the old-fashioned way, which was good. I like that. And Tozawa and Dominic would be an interesting match, in my opinion. But I would have thought it would have been an interesting match.
It could have been, yeah.
Could be the operative word. And the most annoying thing was we didn't get it straight away. Instead, we've got Theory versus Mustafa Ali, which could have been the main event because it was for the United States Championship.
Right. And this is where you're not clearly not valuing the title properly, because if it's the only title you have on that show, the title matches should be the main event.
Yeah. This would have made more sense.
Yeah, not a match to have a number one contender or anything like that.
No. So,
yeah.
Austin Theory versus Mustafa Ali for the United States title. Ali took control early, but Theory took Ali out on the outside of the ring. This went back and forth for most of it, and Ali got close falls a lot. But once Ali was trapped on the top rope, Dolph Ziggler appeared out of nowhere and super kicked Theory in the face. Then Ali and Ziggler got into a shoving match because obviously Ali was pissed that he'd lost his opportunity because of Dolph Ziggler. And then Theory got in the ring and dropped both of them, which was kind of confusing. For some reason, Dolph Ziggler was pissed off with Theory for doing something to him, and I can't really remember for the life of me when was the last time these two were actually in a ring together? Or in the same, show?
Well, Ziggler and Theory did have an issue a while back, and it was unresolved, so sure.
Yeah, but Ziggler's not been on WWE for 3 weeks? 4 weeks?
Right, but that's the point. Who remembers that?
Not me. I was confused as fuck. I was just like, okay, we've got a new contender for the United States Championship. Great. But where the fuck has he been?
Yeah. It's like, explain it. Because, yeah.
Yeah. So, we then had Miz trying to buy his way into the poker games. And JBL asked him for the money up front, and Miz couldn't pay. He then offered JBL his Rolex, which JBL took one look at and said, "Miz, that's fake." So this ties in with the financial issues and everything, which kind of makes sense. But at the same time, Miz is still making lots of money because obviously he's got his own TV show and everything. Yet they're saying he has financial issues. This doesn't make sense. This whole storyline with Miz going broke. He's an A-lister. He has money upon money upon money. This makes no sense.
Unless you can explain why this is happening and not just say it, it breaks believability, because we know he has a contract for wrestling, which he gets paid for. He has a reality show he's getting paid for.
He's very well known.
His wife makes his wife makes bloody money. He's been in films and TV shows, so yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Dancing with the Stars, among other things.
There you go. So if you're going to do shit, make it make sense, like what they did to Corbin.
Yeah.
That's how you do that, because that at least made sense.
I just hope we don't get bum-ass Miz.
I think you're going to get that.
Probably sounds about right. So then in a back-to-back poker segment, we had Corbin winning another hand, but he got caught cheating by AJ Styles and the OC with cards up his sleeve, which is kind of in character, let's be honest.
Yeah, it is.
AJ Styles flat out challenged Corbin to a match, and he said to bring his friends with him, pointing to the Alpha Academy that were also sat at the table. And this turned into a 6-man tag. And the funny part about this actually happened next. So you got this right.
Yay! Something makes sense.
So we had AJ Styles and the OC versus Baron Corbin and the Alpha Academy. It was an okay match. The OC won, and then JBL basically bitched and moaned about the fact that the OC cheated, even though they really didn't.
Yeah.
So yeah, character building, nice. I mean, I like JBL on commentary, but this just made him look kind of stupid, to be fair.
It's a typical heel manager tactic, though. You always say that the face team have cheated to win, even if they haven't. The whole idea is to make you dislike the heel person more because you're insisting that the good guy cheated.
Yeah. Following this, we saw Bliss warming up for the triple threat match, and she was accompanied with Lily as well. The first time we've seen Lily in quite a few weeks. There's a bit of foreshadowing there.
Yeah.
Then we got a Candice LeRae segment, which was funny because obviously Loomis and Gargano had won big in poker. So she got interrupted by them. They showed her the money and she was like, okay, gotta go, bye.
They showed her the way.
Yeah, you could say that. And then, of course, we had the randomly placed Akira Tozawa versus Dominic Mysterio match.
Which took place how long after the initial thing? The beginning?
40 minutes, half an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yet, just now, we had an example of this was done right. It's an example of how this was done wrong.
Yeah, so Judgment Day was ringside for this match as well, which was kind of stupid, but kind of made sense because of Tozawa's comment about not caring about the Judgment Day.
Yeah.
So Tozawa looked great in this match, to be honest, but one mistake and Dominic won. It was literally just a one mistake capitalization.
Here's how you know you got a good wrestler in the ring against Dominic.
They make Dominic look good.
Yeah, if Dominic doesn't fuck up or make any obvious errors, it's that he's the opponent he's in the ring with, because he's not anywhere near experienced enough to be handling big matches.
No, yeah.
So it tells you more about his opponents than it does him.
Yeah, so following the match, Judgment Day went to attack Tozawa, but they were run off by the Street Profits, which didn't really make sense to me, to be honest. They've got no thing with the Judgment Day, and they've got no thing with Tozawa, so it kind of didn't make sense to me, unless Tozawa's going to become a third Street Profit, which I couldn't really see happening.
Maybe Judgment Day want to ban the smoke. I don't
know. Then Lashley got confronted by Adam Pearce. This should have happened after the Seth and Lashley segment. This was just fucking awfully placed. Pearce basically told Lashley that if another accident happened, he'd be forced to give him consequences. And by accident, during the Seth and Lashley segment, he ended up spearing an official by accident because he got in the way.
It's the official's dumb nuts fault, though.
Yeah, so Lashley was basically like, "Oh, so you'd punish a lion for killing its prey, or for accidentally killing the wrong like prey or something." There was a metaphor in there somewhere, but it was kind of like, eh.
I get what they're going for, but that's bad execution.
Yeah. Speaking of bad execution, next we have Bliss versus Becky versus Nikki Cross.
Yeah.
Winner gets the number one contender spot match against Bayley.
Yeah.
This was non-stop action pretty much throughout the match, as you can probably guess from like the three competitors, this wasn't actually a bad match. The bad part was the ending, because Becky
Oh
was
yeah,
just about to win the match, and Damage Control came out and stopped her from getting the pin. This left Alexa to hit Twisted Bliss on Nikki Cross, and we now have Bliss versus Bailey next week for the #1 contender spot.
the curse of the triple threat match, right there.
Mm-hmm. Not to mention the fact that we've seen Bliss versus Bailey. I've lost count how many times now.
Although this is a slightly different connotation, because most of those have been where Bliss was the heel.
Yeah, but also it's been when either Bailey or Bliss has been champion. I think this is like their first non-title match in recent memory, I think.
I believe you're correct, yes. Don't get me wrong, I think these two can have a really good match, but we have seen it quite a lot.
I can see Becky going out for vengeance and then costing Bailey the match, let's be honest.
She calls Alexa the match, surely, by attacking Bailey.
No, Becky's a little bit smarter than that, I think.
Yeah, but she's also very hot-tempered.
This is true.
And it makes more sense if she attacks Bailey, because then Bailey gets her match.
And it can draw the ire of Alexa and make her mad at Becky, and we can get another feud out of it. So I think you get more.
Yeah, I think you get more out of it if it's that way around. But it's no WWE, they'll probably do it the other fucking ways.
Yeah. I can see it just being a pre-match 3-on-1 assault. The lights go out and Alexa changes, and then the lights come back on and they have the match and she kicks Bailey's ass. That sounds more WWE to me than anything.
Yeah, sounds about right.
So, yeah, that was Raw.
Mm-hmm.
Very basic, quite boring, and completely in the wrong order.
Except that one instance where they did it in the right order.
Yeah, that one instance. Oh, jeez.
But yes. So that, of course, ladies and gentlemen, means you need to give us a score.
I gave it a 6 because purely the wrestling was fine. Storyline work was pretty decent, but the rest of it was all in the wrong order, and there was no real surprise anyway.
Well, to be fair, being good wrestling is always a good start to a wrestling program.
Yeah. I mean, there was no botches that I know of.
Well, apart from the order in which they did shit, but
yeah. I meant wrestling-wise, though.
Yeah. As far as in ring stuff goes, no. I mean, the thing is, you've got to bear in mind most of these wrestlers, with the exception of certain people, Dominic, they've all got the ability to put on good matches, except for Dominic. But usually the reason you don't get those is because of poor booking.
Yeah. Peanut says hello, by the way.
Oh, hello, Peanut.
So next we got NXT. Not Deadline, just saying that we're going to be doing that at the end.
Yeah, this is the regular weekly show.
Yeah, so Next, we have first up we have Braun Wagner versus Axiom versus Andre Chase in the Iron Survivor Challenge qualifier, which was for the last spot, which was the wild card spot. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. When people say like a wild card, you and me would automatically think, "Oh, we'll find out on the night." Not
That's
that
how
there'd
that's
be a
supposed to work, yes.
qualifier. Not that there'd be a qualifier like for it the following week. This just like made the like whole wild card like excitement of the whole like wild card situation. It was literally like, who fucking cares?
What it tells me is that they had someone in mind and it didn't work out.
I mean, if that's the case, then that happened on both. That happened on both Iron Survivor ones.
Yeah. Or they changed booking plans. It's one of the two things generally.
Yeah. So, Axiom won this match. It was pretty much a 1-on-2 situation for Wagner, and Wagner was like ganged up on by Axiom and Chase, and Axiom just managed to get the fall, luckily.
Yeah.
Yeah, he punched his ticket to the Iron Survivor Challenge. He also got the win over Chase as well, so it wasn't as damaging to Wagner. Not that anybody cares.
They don't, but if you're going to try and book somebody like they try to do with Wagner, then he shouldn't be losing 40 matches like this.
No. We then had a Diamond Mine segment where Julius was being assessed by a medical, and Niall grassed him up for having injured ribs, so he wasn't cleared. Because Niall wanted him to be safe and not face Hindu Share while he was not 100%. I mean, this kind of makes sense. I mean, teammates of all things, but at the same time, it's got heat on Niall from certain people, including her own team.
Ooh, nervous. That's what a lot of people would jump to, honestly. That, she fancies him, someone get hurt. Again, it's WWE booking, bear that in mind. So it's the kind of shit they would do.
Yeah, it would.
I mean, I personally look at it this way. I reckon it's just a case of she just doesn't want her teammate wrestling injured. That's what I think it is.
Yeah, not to mention the fact that who they're going to be wrestling against when they are cleared.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to face them injured either.
You just wouldn't want to face them either.
Nah, not really.
Nah.
Unless he shaves his chest hair, then maybe.
Oh, I don't care about the chest hair. That don't scare me.
It's just me out.
Yeah, you don't have you're not really a chest hair guy, are you, Aaron?
No, not really.
Welcome to the jungle. You're gonna have fun and games.
I'll leave you to your own jungle. Thank you very much. So next we had the Apollo and Breaker fishing trip moment, which was kind of cringy. Yeah. I mean, this was like building up like a respect kind of vibe between the two like competitors for the championship, which is nice, but at the same time, we get it. They respect each other. This is the second segment in 2 weeks.
That's the point. It didn't. You get what they're trying to do, but it didn't actually do it.
No, not at all. Following this, we had Big Body Hobby versus Montana. That was about to start until Hindu Share came out and beat the shit out of Montana. Yeah. this was before the bell, so it didn't look like this match was happening, and it didn't because Big Body Hobby ran to the back like a pussy.
Yeah.
They literally picked up a microphone, said they wouldn't face the Creeds until they were 100%. But after they said that, Diamond Mine came out and actually tried to get to the ring, but a bunch of officials were holding them back.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't want to wait until they were 100%, obviously. We then saw a Soul Rocker TikTok that featured an argument happening between Inofi and Blade and Briggs and Jensen, the two tag teams. And we was told that a match should be happening later on in the show because of this.
Yeah.
We then, for the first time in a long time, had Zion Quinn in action versus Tony D'Angelo. Weird thing about this was Zion Quinn didn't have his faction that he's been running for the past 3 weeks on Level Up.
I noticed that as well. I thought that was a bit odd.
Yeah, and not being funny, if they want this faction to work, then they might as well fucking bring it up with him. If he's going to be competing on the main brand, they could even just be ringside.
Yeah.
But then you look at who he was facing in the returning Tony D, and you can probably understand why they didn't want him to get damaged, I suppose, in his return.
Yeah, I can understand that. So, although saying that, if you've got somebody who you're trying to build up a faction with, why would you book them to face the guy who's returning?
Yeah, and on top of that, Zion Quinn's been tagging a lot of his Samoan, well, not relatives, but Samoan patriots like the Usos, Hikawa, Roman Reigns, and I think even Paul Heyman in a few of his posts on social media as of late, because obviously he's the Samoan ghost. Maybe he's trying to get into the bloodline a little bit, and this is WWE Creative's way of saying, shut the fuck up.
Well, that's not above. They're not above that. Let's be honest.
It seems like they're trying to keep the Samoan ghost in the pentagram, and
well, judging what happens on the Bloodline show, there certainly may be a case for that.
yeah. And this was especially the case because, well, Quinn got dominated and fucking hard.
Did you dominate me?
Well,
Just
that,
a trick question.
Yeah, but that is exactly why you shouldn't book him against Tony D in this match.
Mm-hmm.
It makes no sense.
Yeah. Following the match afterwards, though, Tony D talks down Wesley, which drew out the North American champion. He went to address Tony and got shot down by Stacks. He then shot Stacks down by telling him he was on too much caffeine, which was kind of funny.
Yeah.
He said to Tony that he had business with Dijak first after Dijak attacked him. Tony didn't like that idea. He then got told to shut up by Dijak and keep his name out of his mouth. Stacks cheap shotted Lee and then got put on his ass, and Lee escaped. So, I mean, this segment kind of went nowhere.
Yeah.
This was then followed by Walker and Dempsey in a locker room altercation. And a new message from Scripts that was poetic as fuck. I don't like the name Scripts either. Can we just call him Reggie? Or Reginald?
That's right. We didn't talk about this, did we?
No, because this was last week.
Yeah. What a fucking stupid gimmick.
What a fucking obvious costume.
Yeah.
I like how the whole crowd started chanting Reggie when he came out.
It was him doing what we've seen before was a better fucking gimmick.
Yeah, I agree.
And honestly, the guy's got more talent than to be stuck with shit like this.
I mean, like when A-Kid came over from NXT UK and renamed himself Axiom, I was a bit like, yeah, this isn't going to work. But it does. This, on the other hand, is shit.
Well, the Axiom thing, there's a historical thing there, so I can get why there's a way to make that work.
Mm.
But scripts?
Yeah. Just no. Anyway. Next we had Walker versus Dempsey. Dempsey's goal was to show that Walker didn't belong in NXT, but Walker used his power to his advantage early on. Dempsey went for the big guy's arm throughout the match. But halfway through this match, Drew Gulak appeared and was spectating the match.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like happy to see Gulak back, but at the same time, there was no reason why he didn't speak or anything. He just seemed to be fixated on Charlie Dempsey, who actually won this match. I don't know the name of this submission that Dempsey used, but I'm calling it the spinal tap because the way the guy's back was contorted, it looked like it fucking hurt.
The thing is with Gulak, we just got through not too long ago talking about the US title needing more challengers.
He would have been a great challenger.
Yeah.
Go to NXT.
Saying that, there would be good challengers for a tag title who, oh no, they're going to be in NXT.
Not gonna lie, if this works out the way I think it's going to, then Dempsey and Gulak as a tag team, I like the look of this.
Sure. I can see that working.
If they're put up to main roster, because obviously Gulak's already been there, I could see him facing the Usos, and it could be an interesting match.
Somebody's got to replace the team that just disappeared back down to NXT.
What whiteboard thing are you on about, by the way?
Huh?
What are you on about?
Oh, it's still down there. Local little.
Oh, that's for my earphones. That's a volume thing.
Oh, okay.
Explains why she's so loud. She's got no control. Yeah, I know number one. Thank you very much.
Told you what, I'll pay you. Whatever helps you sleep at night, darling.
That would be wanking.
Give me some tips.
Don't ask for a tip. You're getting married to me. Jesus.
You want a tip or just the tip? I want to clarify.
I mean, does it count if it's just the tip?
Probably not.
No, it's not cheating if you don't use your whole hand. Anyway.
Yikes.
Although, Kale, if you want to do something that's really creative and make it feel like it's a stranger, sit on your hand for about half an hour, make it go numb, and then do it.
Doesn't work.
No, I meant to Aaron, not to yourself.
Jesus Christ.
He's not going to save you. Look what happened to him.
So after the Dempsey bullshit, we got Grayson Waller hyping us up about his talk show later on. This was followed by Pretty Deadly telling us a Christmas story, who was interrupted by the New Day and then challenged to a match at Deadline, which they accepted. It's just kind of stupid. But, I mean, I guess the New Day finally got bored of the tag team division on the main roster. Who can blame them?
You mean the lack of one?
Yeah, sure. Let's go with that.
Guys.
So yeah, they got a title match at Deadline. We then had a message from Isla Dawn to Alba Fire saying that she was hoping she was watching her debut. We then got the return of Ikemen Juro in a backstage segment where the backstage correspondent asked Jiro what he thought of Big Body Hovey, and Jiro said, "Big Body Chicken." And of course, that got quite a few laughs. And it also got Emma match with Big Body Hovey next week, probably. Hasn't been announced, but I'm guessing that's what's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
This was followed by Mia Howe versus Isla Dawn. Dawn dominated most of the match. It was a good match, to be honest. Howe tried and got close, but Dawn came back with a sudden brutality with the win. Via Scorpion Death Drop.
Right. Another example of Raw continuity storyline telling here. Swap the two segments around. So Isla Dawn's comments before she has the match, instead of there being a break in between that and the match.
Yep.
But is anyone surprised that Isla Dawn won? No, of course they're not.
No, not at all. Not in the slightest.
Well, I mean, what is she going to do? Lose her first match?
No,
WWE would never do that.
no. But obviously after the match, Alba Fire rose from a puff of smoke and attacked her. I think it's
the phantom hand across the screen. Yeah, back, down. There you go. Thank you. Right.
Sit and swivel.
Wait.
That's it. That's better. If that's all the effort you put in, no wonder he doesn't come.
I'm not sitting innocent. We then heard from Kiana James about her strategy at Deadline.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got Briggs and Jensen versus Blade and Anofi, which should have happened ages ago. Kind of.
This match has happened. This match has happened a few times before, actually.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
How about that?
No, thank you.
Sugar?
We haven't got any still.
Pasta?
No.
You can go outside. There's some stuff that looks like sugar.
Yeah, but somebody might have dropped some cocaine. I mean, it's sugar.
It no longer looks like sugar because the rain melted it away.
Yeah, the rain's melted the snow.
So it looks like shit then. Okay.
They're fucking fuming.
It looked like slush.
Why are you fuming? Do you not like rain?
I like the rain.
Does she not like the rain?
No more.
You went to you went to throw a snowball, yeah?
Yeah. Before the Briggs and Jensen versus Blade and Anofi match, so I think it was Jensen. He got a date invitation from Kiana James just to piss Fallon Henley off.
Yeah. Which
made sense because the next match was Chu versus Hartwell versus Henley. So James wanted to get Kiana wanted to get Henley out of her, I don't know.
Mindset for the match.
Yeah, out of her mindset, sure. That's the one.
Yeah, a distraction to just make her not think about having a match. She's getting more concerned about other stuff.
Yeah. Before the invite to the date, we did actually have Briggs and Jensen versus Blade and Anofi, and Briggs and Jensen won.
Yeah.
So following this, we had Windy Chew versus Hartwell versus Henley. Hartwell won with a pin on Henley and earned a spot in the Iron Survivor Challenge.
Boo! Boo!
Yeah, this was followed by a Toxic Attraction segment, which was okay, and Indy Hartwell called a shot at Mandy Rose. This was fine, but this made absolutely no sense after deadline.
Nope, it did not. And
Just made it seem like empty promises.
Yeah, they've been doing this with Indy Hartwell for a while. They've set her up to do something, and then they'll pull the rug out from underneath it.
Yeah, speaking about pulling the rug, the ending of the show was the Grayson Waller effect. With every man that was involved in the Iron Survivor Challenge basically talking for about 10 minutes, and then it all broke down. There was fighting, and eventually the 5 came to blows. Well, I say the 5. 4 of them came to blows. Grayson Waller was recording it on his fucking phone.
Only thing about this whole segment is at least that's in character for him.
Yeah, he got the occasional punch in. But there was cheap shots.
Everything he did was in character of him. Though. I still thought this was.
Yeah, join the club.
Beep shot.
Well, that went tip top in a hurry.
I also now, thanks for also telling me I'm still number 1. I feel really loved. Not by you, but by someone.
Never smile at my boobs no more.
They did smile. Had an itchy tash.
Yeah, dude, why are you not smiling at boobs? Everyone should smile at boobs. They're boobs.
Eye contact.
But you scared? Are you scared by eye to nipple contact? Are you?
I'm not saying anything. Leave me alone.
Probably the best answer.
So yeah, NXT was okay. So I'd give it a 6.5 out of 10 because it wasn't that much better than Raw, but at least more of it was in order, like storyline wise, I suppose.
Yeah.
We've still got SmackDown and NXT Deadline to talk about. I mean, this week wasn't that bad.
Hidden stuff.
Is this a mating ritual?
It. No.
Is that where you pull to make a talk? Is that no? I was gonna say, is that what you pull to make him? Nah, never.
Oh no, yours is come unthreaded.
No. Oh.
I mean, I can fix it for you if you'd like.
Yeah, but what about the draw? What about the pulley? You will be able to get it to come back out. It's not permanently screwed.
It's her.
And as Kaylee inserts herself into Aaron and explores the bits and pieces, and she pulls out just in time.
Why does that look like 2 thick thighs? Peanut. Is that supposed to be titties?
Two thick thighs.
Kind of looks like a couple of our eyes.
No, you can't see that. It's fine. The titties.
Hey, nothing wrong with titties.
Oh, you did it wrong. It was meant to be boobs. Well, that went tits up.
Hi, Peanut. Love you, Peanut.
She loves your peanut.
Oh, she loves you nutting in her mouth. What?
Moist gusset.
The fuck
Is
is
that-
a gusset?
Is that why you like to snow, by the way? Is it because you like white stuff dropping down?
Love it.
Except when she gets it in her eye.
Oh.
I'm blind. I'm blind. Get some goggles.
Plan. Tutto.
You know those swimming goggles. Just get a pair of those.
Yeah.
Anyway, we should probably get onto. Should probably get onto SmackDown.
Mm-hmm. I can't believe you're having iced coffee. If you wanted iced
I'm
coffee,
not having a nice coffee.
oh, I thought you was having iced coffee.
No, I'm having a biscuit. I'm having a milky coffee.
Oh, my bad.
The dietary hour.
I was just gonna say, if you were making a nice coffee, you could have just left it outside for 5 minutes. It would have been nice enough.
It wouldn't be 5 minutes. It'd probably take you about a minute.
I took my pizza out of the oven, came back 2 minutes later, and it was already cold. I literally just picked it up off of the baking tray, folded it in
Yeah.
half, ate it like
You
a
know
fucking caveman.
Yeah, you know when it's cold when you can eat pizza like it's like it was made yesterday.
Yeah.
You want some of my cream?
No. Don't look at me like that. For fuck's sake.
Aaron, you know what a gazelle feels like, by the way.
Huh?
You now know what a gazelle feels like.
Yeah.
Look at you like what? Shit, it's spilling.
Oh, she's creaming all over the place.
Control yourself, Kaylee.
Stop it spilling.
Can you not handle yourself?
I don't think you're ready for this, Jed.
Get back to your program. SmackDown, right? First match of the show.
So the stupid thing about SmackDown was it was kicked off with
Does that involve cream?
Are those Kaya-gasms?
Is she getting them in for me?
Apparently.
Hey!
Hey, what if it's like Chabot?
Make the men and the ladies cream.
Custard cream, yeah? Okay.
Oh.
More of a bourbon guy. Anyway,
Now, you're more an Eiffel Tower kind of guy, aren't you?
not after the last time I went there, no.
You never been
We can
Kaylee,
go
you
Blackpool
ever been to,
Tower.
Kaylee, you ever been to the Eiffel Tower?
I don't know what the dirty version is to know, but I haven't been to France either.
Okay. Google it if you don't know what the dirty version is, but it was actually a legitimate question, and there is a dirty version.
I went to the Eiffel Tower and I left a Sheppey Rock on top of it. I was just waiting for the headlines the next day. Random Sheppey Rock kills tourists. I was like, please.
If it's in the French newspapers, sure it'd be smelly, foul Englishmen leave rock on top of tower. It kills 500 French people.
I could live with that.
This is really good.
Especially after the football results this week.
Wait.
Well. If anyone was surprised by that, then they're a moron.
I'm a moron.
I don't watch it, so I don't care.
I said anyone who's surprised by that result is a moron. So there you go.
Okay. Peanut has a question for you, and I'm just going to try and scroll up and see the whole question again because I've just got like a merge notification.
A question for Kaylee or a question for me?
Question for you, Peter.
Oh no, not questions. Anything but questions. No, I'm used to answering questions. Happens all the time.
How do you eat your custard cream? Careful how you ask that.
How do I eat my custard cream? I actually don't eat custard creams.
You don't eat them?
Do you eat Oreos?
No, I don't like I don't like biscuits.
Hey, how can we ask that question in a separate way then? How do you eat your ice cream sandwiches?
I'm allergic to ice cream.
How do you eat your galaxy?
You know how I eat my galaxy. You've seen me eat one.
How do you eat a cupcake with frosting on it?
I don't like cakes.
Fuck's sake, Peter.
We're very similar in that respect. We're not a fan of sweet stuff.
What cream-filled thing do you... don't answer that.
I could say it, but I don't want to get Aaron's channel in trouble. That's all I'm saying. It's usually because I've worked on it first, and that's why there's cream. Okay. Anyway.
And for more, check out Peter's OnlyFans.
which does not exist, by the way, because it just doesn't.
Not drawing the light photography.
If I had one, I'd have to think of a witty title for it. Probably something like "If you love me, tickle my balls." I'm not sure.
I would have thought it'd been like Over the Hedge. 69.
Nice. I do appreciate fun times. I'll tell you what, if your chat want to have a bit of fun, get them to come up with a name for my OnlyFans. If I ever made one.
You heard it here first. Actually, I'm going to make it more interesting. Best one in the comments, I'll give you a free sub.
Actually, I'm not now long.
Over the Hedge can't be used. That's mine.
Yeah, I would also point out Kaylee always plays along. She just doesn't always do it on telly.
Huh?
Yep. No.
No, I didn't hear.
Good. Right. Anyway, SmackDown.
If you smell what the Peter's cooking. Yeah, so we had Usos versus Butch and Sheamus because obviously McIntyre was out with injury. Okay, so Peanuts come up with only creams.
Good.
I just thought of another one. Mostly moist.
Nice. Keep the creativity coming, people. I
or
like
M&M for sure.
Why mostly? If you're not doing it right, then that'd be mostly, but you know.
It's called edging. You've not heard of it.
I'm addicted to you.
I'm guessing she has no idea what that is. Right.
This is my fourth one today.
Blueberry.
Have you got to have a toxic, have you?
Yeah. So
That's
it's the
not
third
mostly
one.
creamy, is it? That's not mostly creamy, is it?
No. Mostly moist once it's in my mouth.
Ah.
Fine, big boy.
That's what she said.
Kelly. I'll say Kaylee's thinking it's the first time I've ever known that to happen.
Yummy. What?
Now, you see that face right there? That's Kaylee's face afterwards. You can all work out what I'm talking about.
That's just touched the mouth ulcer. It really fucking hurts.
Yeah, toxic.
Okay.
I thought your Twitch people were supposed to be supporting you, not torturing you.
That's the whole fun of it.
Oh,
So we
okay.
had the Usos versus Butch and Sheamus for the SmackDown, for the undisputed tag team titles.
Okay, so we are getting to SmackDown now. Okay.
Yeah, it was a good matchup, but the Usos retained, of course. Following this, we had a miraculously fully healed LA Knight in the segment. When he was in a thing and had a crutch last week.
It's a miracle.
Yeah. He was demanding justice for being repetitively attacked. We also got told that John Cena was returning next week to SmackDown.
How would you know?
No, not next week. The week after, on the 30th.
Again, explain to me. How would you know?
I don't know. We couldn't see him.
Exactly.
So yeah, last SmackDown of the year. So then we was back in the ring with LA Knight. He said he knew it was Wyatt that attacked him and showed us the toys in the background the last 2 times he'd been attacked. LA said he was going to go out back and find him and beat him up. Then that's what he went off to do.
Yeah, he got beaten up by Alexa Bliss.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got a interview clip of Legado being interviewed, but that was interrupted by Shotzi being attacked, and by Ronda and Baszler, and apparently she's broken her arm.
Yeah.
Ronda and Baszler were interrupted in a segment following that because they were laughing about what had happened to Shotzi. They were interrupted by Knox and Morgan saying that they'd not beaten them in tag team action, which was like a fair point because this was like a tag team that hasn't even had a test run yet, and Knox has only been back 2 weeks now because she returned the week before.
Yeah.
I did it.
Hit me, baby, one more time. Sorry, what?
But the stupid thing about this, after the Ronda and Baszler section, we had Legado versus the Viking Raiders instead of the women's tag match. And
Yeah,
Peanut has a question about WWF. What is your question, Peanut?
Yeah, go for it, Peanut.
You need
I was going to say Kaylee should go for it, but you're on Twitch.
Mm-hmm. Nasty. Oh! Well, thank you for the gifted sub. I appreciate that.
Dink, 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 dink. You ain't nothing but a troublemaker girl.
I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, T. Peanut, what was your question about WWF? Or just
WWF, WWE. It is what it is.
why do they put a bed in the middle of the fighting ring and role play stuff? Whoa, that was Edge and Lita, wasn't it? Like back in the
Sex celebration.
Yes. Yeah, it was a championship celebration of sorts. Thanks for doing the shout out.
Okay. A few extra bits and pieces here which are not common knowledge, which I will share with everyone here. One, there is a point in that where you can actually see Lita's tits. She's not wearing a bra.
Yeah.
Okay. Edge has got clothes on. Lita has only got like a tiny little G-string on, and there's a few slips where you actually see stuff.
Yeah. And this is still on the WWE Network. Probably one of the most famous episodes, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the same network, by the way, which actually has removed the Mickey James thing of her doing this.
Yeah.
Which is actually less offensive.
And showing less, too.
Yeah. Don't think. But yeah, it was it maintained the title. I think it was against Cena, I believe, and the celebration was a result of that.
Yeah. We
That
love
really
a
was-
5-minute celebration.
5 minutes, you're being generous to yourself. But that's also why Edge was the rated R
being generous to
superstar.
Edge.
Because it came from that stuff. It's
Oh,
part of the whole.
Thanks for letting her know about WWF sex scenes. You've made her day. You've cracked her nut.
Oh.
Does she see clearly now? Because everything has come to life.
No, I think she got some in her eye.
But yeah, there's a lot of those sort of things in history stuff, and there's a lot of hidden gems about a lot of these things as well. You just have to know where to look for them.
Yeah.
For more answers, just ask Peter.
So, following this, we had Legado's Wild and Toro versus the Viking Raiders. Legado in the earlier interview seemed confident about this match, but we'd have to wait and see when it started. However, she said she didn't enjoy it because it wasn't two women, even though Edge looked like a woman back then.
To be fair, I would have enjoyed it more if it'd been two women too.
Same.
Join the club. So 5 minutes into this match, Hit Row came out with steel chairs and took out everybody, which ended the match via DQ in Legado's favour. So yeah, this match was pointless. Probably end up being a triple threat next week.
More than likely.
I mean,
basically,
kind of funny
also,
how.
if you're going to go for that time period for women that should have been in that situation, it should be Stacey Keebler and Trish Stratus.
Oh, bra and panties matches. Oh, those were the days.
Well, that's all from that time period, yeah.
Wait, there's China in that time period.
But China, yeah.
I love her.
No, at that point, China would have gone.
Oh.
Yeah, I think she was. Yeah.
At that point, Hunt was already seeing Stephanie, so China would have been gone.
Mm-hmm.
I believe she was in TNA at that point, hanging around with Kurt Angle and mixed tag matches against Karen and Jeff.
Okay, so we talked about the Legado and Viking Hit Row thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny how the three factions that are involved in this have two guys and a woman in that faction, or three guys and a woman.
Oh, what? It's almost like they planned it.
Hmm. Uwu to you too, Peanut.
Well, that's Sabina.
So then there was an Angle and Jason Jordan segment. This is the first time we've seen Jason Jordan on camera in.
Since he had to retire.
Yeah.
And even that wasn't made on camera, it just happened off screen.
Mm-hmm. I've heard a rumor he might be coming back.
Hopefully, because that sucked, because that's no age to have to retire at.
I mean, if Edge can come back, Paige can come back, and Kurt Angle can come back. I don't see him not coming back.
Daniel Bryan.
Oh yeah, Daniel Bryan too. And the way it's looking, he could form a tag team with Gable Stevenson. Wouldn't be the worst idea.
I've heard of worse.
And you never know, they could have a manager in Kurt Angle.
What do you mean, Kurt managing his son?
Yeah, and also add Alpha Academy into the mix. Brand new Olympian team.
Yeah,
Wouldn't
that way,
be
you
the
can
worst
have,
idea.
that way you can have the team Gable and Gable.
Yeah, sure. Wouldn't be the worst idea. I mean, you've got people there that are all have an Olympic Roman new knuckle like wrestling background. Use it.
Except one of them stands out very much from everyone else in that faction. If you did that.
Yeah, but it doesn't really matter.
Oh no, it doesn't. I actually think it works that way. But it's one of those things where if you have a picture of a group of people, there's always that one person who stands out because they don't look like everyone else.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I think that one who would stand out actually has an advantage over most of those other people.
Peanut, that is a spoink, and you know it's a spoink.
What's that? What did Peanut do?
She said all this talk and now a spunk has appeared.
A spunk?
It's a spoink, it's a Pokemon. Of course you go for the catch.
Go for the snatch or the catch? What was that?
Both. Anyway.
Fair enough. Well, good luck with that one, Peanut, if you want to find the snatch with the spunk or whatever it would be.
It's right here.
What, the spunk or the snatch?
From what I'm looking at, the snatch. Anyway.
Okay, right. Got to catch them all, have you? Okay, right.
Hey, welcome to the... You had to make the conversation go tits up, didn't you? Anyway.
It's not that unusual on the show anyway, so we tend to diverge.
So, after this segment, it was Knight was looking for Wyatt backstage a little gingerly, as you can expect. And he went into a locker room and saw a Wyatt t-shirt hanging up in the dressing room, threw it on the floor, and then he turned around and there was a person standing in Wyatt's mask from when he made his return. And the lights went off. Didn't hear a scream, didn't hear anybody attacked, but you can kind of guess that he got jumped. You can assume he got jumped, but you don't know.
Little tidbit for you here. It wasn't Bray.
No, I noticed that. I mean, Bray,
everyone
is
watching, I think.
Yeah. It was about 80 pounds thinner than Bray.
Yeah, kind of a big giveaway, that.
Mm-hmm. And about a foot shorter as well.
Yeah, that's the other one.
And no beard.
It'd be like trying to replace Aaron with a midget.
There is nothing wrong with boobs.
Who's
I
the
don't
same
have a
wrong with
problem with
boobs?
boobs, Eagle.
Who's just the same wrong with boobs?
Have you read the Discord yet this morning, Eagle? Because that was just like titty overload, crazy.
Okay, there is nothing wrong with boobs, but there's a time and a place where it's appropriate, though.
Yeah,
Right here, right now.
put them away.
I don't want to.
Yeah, put your balls away, Kaylee. We don't need to see them.
Do your balls hang low? Do they wobble to and fro? Can you tie him in your mouth? Can you tie him in a bow? Can you throw him over your shoulder like a Commonwealth soldier? Do your tits hang low?
Gobble, gobble.
That's a
Musical
different kind of
interlude.
tickler.
The musical interlude by Aaron. Are you going to give us Christmas Carol next?
Ba la 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 off. Anyway.
I thought you were going to give us Jingle Balls, Jingle Balls, Jingle all the way.
Or just do Ahmed the Dead Terrorist.
Jingle bums, mine blew up, you see. Where are all the virgins that Bin Laden promised me? I got through checkpoint A. but not through checkpoint B. That's when I got shot in the ass by the U.S. military. Oh, jingle bums, jingle bums.
I'm so sorry.
You're not.
Nice.
That hurt.
She's not sorry.
That's what she said. Anyway.
Well, then he's clearly putting it in the wrong place. What? Sorry.
Shit, pardon me, I'm so sorry.
I realised that
You're
when she
not-
sneezed. Anyway.
Really?
Can I do your scolded dog impression?
I don't like you two anymore. You're being mean to me.
You don't like me anyway. You say nasty things to me all the time. So
That's how I show people I like them, but not anymore.
hey, I never took the mickey out of anything that you did. That was all.
Hang on,
Aaron,
that's
but
how you
okay.
joke that you'd like people. Why the fuck are you nice to me? I'm kind of concerned now.
'Cause it's got to be consensual.
2 words.
21 years.
That's 3 words.
No, 21 is one word.
No, it's not. It's
20.
hyphenated.
Exactly, so it's one word.
She's correct. It's hyphenated. It's one word.
Oh.
Sorry, but she's right. The word hyphenated counts as one word.
Peanut says she's done here. Okay, I'll just take my mod status back.
Who's mod what?
Don't do it, Peanut.
What is Peanut doing?
Apparently she's done here. She's finished. We're too much for her. No comment.
I'm not. I'm saying nothing.
Pardon me.
Uh,
I say nothing.
Alright, okay. We should probably get back on the wrestling.
Well, we were trying to, but somebody decided they wanted to burp.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're not. Don't lie.
You're right, I'm not.
Then we had a Ricochet segment. He didn't have the World Cup on him though, which was stupid. Kind of made it seem a bit pointless. This was a contract signing with Ricochet and all the members of Imperium in the ring. As Pierce started talking, New Day came out to even the odds. And to be honest, I liked this touch, and it ended up turning into a 6-man tag. So, I mean, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, but why?
I don't know, just to, make things more, heated in a rivalry between them. I mean, New Day and Ricochet won, which was kind of like a, way, but at the same time, we're just like, yeah, Ricochet's not winning next week.
Yay, we already knew that. But
Also, this was kind of like a farewell match for the New Day because, well, they're gone to NXT now.
spoiler.
Yeah. Oh well. Anyway.
Fine, you're gonna spoil that for people. I'll spoil Final Battle for you. Right. Well,
After the signatures, this turned into a 6-man tag. Ricochet and New Day won. We then had an Alpha Academy segment where they was rejected by the bouncer on the door to Kurt Angle's party. 287. Colors, what's the 287 about? I mean, Eagle, this was discussed about in great length today. I still don't have any idea. what's happening though. I think
Ah,
that'd
cool,
be
doesn't-
down to Moss and Amy and Chef.
Stuff that
Purely
doesn't
Moss
involve me.
because she'll end up stabbing someone. But yeah.
Don't be stabbing people. That's a bad thing to do.
Only with dicks
Okay.
or strap on.
No stabbing people with anything dangerous.
Uh, then we had a Mysterio in rehabbing segment where
Would you like me to do it?
Who did it? Who's it from?
same person,
Who done it the first time?
feel the
I don't know
colours.
who did it the first time. Ah,
Feel the colours.
Do you want me to do it for you?
I don't care. I don't mind.
I thought you turned your fingers off for this anyway.
I did.
no,
Um,
it's
I put a cooldown on them.
yeah, it's usually the swear jar that's not in effect for stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they've only changed it over.
They're all pretty ranked anyway, to be fair.
We should have a stipulation that involves Kaylee though.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean?
I'm starting to become sus as to whether or not somebody's set up a bot on my channel that just redeems it.
Well, it's always possible. It's the internet.
Mm.
Weird stuff happens on the internet.
But then they type LMAO on my chat and they automatically know. I automatically know that it is a general person. You're evil. Are you? Okay, that's good for you. Peanut, you have an
Hey.
evil friend.
Somebody's evil.
Yeah, apparently.
Well, okay. Hey, as long as you're good with that and you're not actually hurt anyone for real.
With whom did
Well,
the cheesy
well.
Bible start?
Jesus.
Adam and Eve.
Oh.
I actually preferred Kaylee's, to be honest.
Nah. I prefer Skywave as well, to be fair. Jesus Christ.
I like it.
Anyway. So... the fuck was that?
I just gagged.
Nice.
Not for the first time. Right. Yeah, we've done the contract signing, and they just had the 6-man match. Yes.
Then Alpha Academy got rejected on the door to Kurt Angle's birthday party, which is understandable because the last time that Kurt Angle and Chad Gable were in the same ring, I think Chad Gable was saying something about Kurt's illegitimate son.
Yeah.
The Alpha Academy.
Yeah. Jason Jordan.
No, he'd split up American Alpha, not Alpha Academy.
Yeah.
My bad.
It can get a bit of fun when they're both involved with Alpha.
I mean, being honest, if you look at it from this perspective, if they hadn't have done the Kurt Angle and Jason Jordan storyline, he probably wouldn't have broken his neck because he would have been on the other brand still.
I would point out the fact I've always been of the opinion they picked the wrong person in that match to be Kurt's illegitimate son.
Agreed.
That's just me. Nothing against Jason Jordan, but I think Gable was a much better fit, honestly.
Yeah. So this was followed up by Mysterio rehabbing his injury. And he got interrupted by Karrion Kross. This was kind of weird because we saw like a sympathetic cross until he started getting into the real reason he was there, of saying that it was time for Rey Mysterio to hang up his boots because all workhorses need to be put out of their misery eventually. So this makes me feel like this is going to be possibly Mysterio's final run, possibly.
Possibly his final WWE run.
Yeah. The thing is about this is if this happens within the next 2 weeks, I can see somebody coming to Ray's rescue on the final SmackDown of December because they kind of teased it already, and they are good friends.
Oh, oh, oh.
Anyway.
Do you think Father Christmas will come and save Ray?
So following this, we had Liv Morgan and Tegan Knox versus Baszler and Ronda Rousey, even though this segment happened 20 minutes into the show.
Yeah. Again, for example, of something that's completely in the wrong place.
Yeah, so about an hour and 40 minutes too late.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, Knox and Morgan got the win here.
Yeah, it's a bit surprising, not gonna lie.
Guess who they pinned?
Sorry?
Guess who they pinned?
The referee.
Baszler.
Of course they did.
Wasn't gonna get a pin on Ronda, was I? Let's be honest.
No. The only person who gets the pin Rousey is what's his face?
Oh, Mr. Brown. Can't remember his first name.
The bloke she's married to, I can't remember his bloody name.
Yeah, I can't remember his name either. I know his last name's Brown, I think.
It's in the brain somewhere, so
Hey Siri,
give me it.
who's Ronda Rousey married to?
Mr. Rousey.
Ronda Rousey is married to UFC fighter Travis Brown.
Travis Brown.
That's it.
There you go.
Trav.
I said it
Yeah.
was Mr. Brown.
Yeah, well, there you go.
So, next, following this, we had Kurt Angle's birthday celebration, which was interrupted by the Alpha Academy about not getting an invitation to their birthday, his birthday.
So he knows what's going on.
Gable said that
This happened.
he was going to make Otis eat
That's so funny.
Kurt Angle's full birthday cake, and this thing was fucking huge, like 6 tier on the table. It made Otis look small. So seeing him eat that whole cake would have been quite entertaining in itself.
I kind of want, honestly, I probably would have preferred to see that.
Yeah, instead we got a 2002 remake of the milk truck incident with everybody from the Attitude Era.
Milkomania.
True, it's damn true.
Also, if it's 2002, that's Ruthless Aggression. It's not Attitude Era.
Oh shit!
Still, it is what it is.
What's the transitional point? Yeah. It's
Attacking
nostalgia,
the
bait. It's nostalgia, bait.
Nostalgia for somebody's birthday. I can get behind that. What did you do for your birthday this year?
What did I do? Nothing.
There you go, nostalgia. Cheers.
No, doing nothing is not nostalgia. Doing nothing is actually doing the exact opposite to everything I normally do.
No, it's nostalgia for the days back when you used to do nothing. Not anymore.
That, I would have to have been like a toddler at that point for me to have been doing nothing.
Yeah, precisely. Nostalgia. It's about like
Which I would remember, and predates your birth by a considerable distance.
I can't be nostalgic with you then.
No, because you wouldn't have even been a distant thought in your dad's sperm bank.
Nice.
At that point.
I wasn't even a twinkle in his eye plotting my escape.
Good old Terence.
Yeah. It's weird when you think about it. We're the ones who managed to escape.
The other ones failed to the thing known as Kleenex. Anyway,
Or Durex.
my dad wasn't a fan of condoms.
I was generalising, but okay.
Good old spit and swallow.
My mum wasn't a fan of that.
Was your dad?
From what I've heard? No. It kind of makes you wonder where I got it from. Anyway,
Well, I can guess. But I'm not touching that barge pole.
I wouldn't either. You'd need a long barge pole.
Well, from here, yeah, because you're all the way in Kent, so yeah.
Okay, so that pretty much sums up WWE except for Deadline.
Well,
I gave
that was
SmackDown a 5.
Oi, rating. Yeah, rating. Yeah, there you go.
I gave it a 12.
Yeah, but what about the show?
Huh?
Yeah, but what about the show?
Oh, 78. Hands down.
Okay.
Out of 100, that's reasonable.
I would point out giving Aaron a 12 is not the same thing as rating the show.
Oh, Aaron's a fucking 9.
Okay, I mean a 12 as in a strap on.
Oh, sorry, nervous fart. This is just like some little side.
Lubrication is your friend. Sorry, what?
Helps you on the grind till the very end. Catchy jingles.
Sometimes
Brought to you by Durex. What?
I'm gonna go get that one.
You need
Okay,
a channel
conversation.
report. You
Probably.
actually need to do a channel report one time on a stream where if somebody clicks it, it's a KY thing.
Yeah. Hashtag kayfabe. Anyway, Deadline.
Yeah,
Oh,
you can talk. You can
well,
talk. I don't really want to talk about this show, but go on.
The kickoff was actionless. No surprise, because the show was pretty much similar.
Kind of like certain people's bedrooms.
We found out Axiom and JD McDonough would be kicking off the men's match, but the women's Iron Survivor Challenge kicked off the show, which was Perez versus Jade versus Stark versus Indy versus Kiana James. Perez and Stark started, followed by James. Then Zoe got the first fall. Cora Jade came in. Cora Jade got a fall. Then Indy came out finally with 10 minutes left of the match. Indy got a fall, leaving 3 ladies out on 1, being Stark, Jade, and Indy. And then Perez got a fall, which tied it 4 ways. Then in the last 2 minutes, Perez hit Pop Rocks on Cora Jade and got the pin and the win overall. I
That's
just
good.
summarized the 25-minute match in about a minute. You're welcome.
For the tide, the sun, the sky.
I'm a big fan of shortening things I don't care about.
Yeah. I actually like this match. It was actually like pretty decent. Like, it's the first time I've seen one of these, so I actually enjoyed it. Would I like to see it all the time? No.
Why not?
Once a year? Sure. If they make
It's
it
all
a
about the
regular
match,
thing.
not anything else.
We then got an Ivy Nile and Paxley interview where Ivy was apologising for putting the Creeds out of action by grassing them up. Then we had Isla Dawn versus Alba Fire. Fire was out for vengeance, obviously, from the championship match that Isla Dawn cost her a couple of weeks back. This went back and forth all the way through this match, which was quick paced. Alba had this one, but the ref touched Dawn and started spewing out black goo. Dawn hit Fire off of an exposed turnbuckle and got the win. Not gonna lie, I like the ending of this match. It's different. Did it work? Yeah, but it was different. Not something that we've seen before on NXT or from anybody else in WWE, I don't think.
The problem with those the problem with this Survivor match. So I'm going to get to that. I've seen loads of these matches.
And it's probably not the best one you've seen.
Not even close. For those of you who are unaware, it's a King of the Mountain match. TNA did loads of these. However, what WWE have done here, which TNA didn't do, is have a women's one.
Yeah. And I think that's why they made sure that the women's one was first. Because it was a first ever thing. But yeah, the Alba Fire versus Isla Dawn match, I liked the ending to it. The only thing that ruined it was the fact that when they started the match, they said that the referee that was reffing the match was the same referee that Isla Dawn spewed toxic mist into his eyes the previous week. So like that automatically made me think, oh well, there's something going to happen to the ref. And that's exactly what did happen. As soon as Isla Dawn touched him when she was about to lose, he started spewing out black goo. Everybody was too busy panicking about the referee. Alba Fire got sent headfirst into an exposed turnbuckle and got pinned by Isla Dawn. I like this ending, different, but they ruined it with the whole, oh, it's the same referee that got the poison mist in his eyes last week.
We've actually got snow now.
Nice. You've got asthma. You're welcome.
Yeah, I actually like snow, so I don't care. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, the Dawn thing was kind of obvious, to be honest, because of what happened before.
Yeah, and the fact that they mentioned the referee at the start of the match.
Yeah. Sometimes you can tip your hand a bit too much.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time though, it was an okay match, and it wasn't as damaging for Fire for the ending because obviously an exposed turnbuckle, you're not going to kick out of that.
Well, you shouldn't kick out of it. There's very few people who should.
No, we then got a pre-match New Day segment that was cool, I suppose. Following that, we had Pretty Deadly versus New Day for the NXT tag titles. This match was okay.
Yeah, give you all a hint, people. Aaron really wanted Pretty Deadly to win this match. He was really, really upset by the result.
No, I actually really enjoyed this match. It actually made me enjoy watching like a tag team wrestling match for a change that isn't on a different TV show entirely.
Hint.
Yeah. It kind of felt like New Day. It kind of felt like Pretty Deadly were being tested in a way, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Being
put against like the New Day, and obviously there were some great moments in it. We had like a twerk off between Kofi and one of the members of Pretty Deadly, and then we had a four-way Eddie Guerrero tribute where they were fighting over the belts, and Kofi ended up standing there with the belt in his hand, so he just chucked it up in the air and fell on his back. All four of them were down trying to fake a disqualification victory, which was really funny. Best part about it though, the ref didn't have none of it. He grabbed the belt, threw it out the ring, And then New Day hit the limit breaker on Pretty Deadly and got the W. So we've got brand new tag team champions. But it was a great match. Really made me enjoy tag wrestling again for the first time in a long time.
You may want to refine that statement, by the way.
Why?
As in WWE tag wrestling.
Yeah, okay. First time I've enjoyed WWE tag wrestling in a long time.
Yeah, because we both know that you like the other ones.
You do too.
Yes, but I don't say that. I don't make any things about not enjoying that. What? What? You what? What? You want to?
Following this, we had the men's Iron Survivor Challenge or King of the
By the
Mountain
way,
match.
Aaron, we should probably say anyone watching who doesn't get that, you're going to need some context probably.
Excuse me, Daddy Peter.
But we're not going to tell you what it is unless you send him a message and ask.
Anybody out there who doesn't get context, watch AEW. You're welcome. Anyway, so the men's Iron Survivor Challenge. I'm going to get through this as quickly as I can. With JD versus Axiom versus Waller versus Carmelo Hayes versus Gacy. JD and Axiom started things off as Axiom requested. They was then joined by Carmelo Hayes. Melo got the first point over Axiom. They were then joined by Waller, and he got a double pin straight off the bat, hitting a stunner on Axiom and JD McDonough with a pin for a double fall to take the lead. Axiom and JD's timers ran out together, and they took each other into the penalty box and started beating the crap out of each other inside the penalty box. As you could kind of expect them to do because of the rivalry they've had over the past few weeks.
Sure, that at least makes sense.
Waller called Booker a bitch and then got taken out for it by Axiom, and he got his first fall. He then pinned JD as well to tie things up. So then Gacy arrived, got a pin on Axiom, and then Axiom was taken out by Waller and JD. Then Gacy pinned Melo to triple tie it up. Axiom then took everybody out with a moonsault off of the penalty box. Then Melo tapped out to Waller, taking the tie up to taking it up to a 4-way tie. Waller then stole the final pin within the last few seconds of the match and spent the last minute or so of the match running away from everybody and trying to break up pinfalls as much as he could. Hello. So Waller got the win in the Iron Survivor Challenge, which kind of shocked me, to be honest. What didn't shock me, however, was the most Australian thing that happened this entire show. He had a shoey on the announce table. He literally drank out of his own wrestling boot. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the overall...
Again, the problem with these matches is I've seen better.
Yeah.
The women's at least has the thing of there hasn't been a female version of this match before. This men's one, however, oh boy.
I mean, I didn't mind the men's one. I preferred it to the women's one, to be honest. It was more aggressive.
I understand that one, but the thing is, because I've seen other versions of this match, just a bit different for me.
Yeah. Is this a no disqualification match? Or is this...
Correct. That's what's supposed to happen, yeah.
So this whole match could have had weapons and shit like that.
In the TNA version, yes. I'm not sure about the NXT version.
This wasn't no disqualification, because if it was, there'd have been so much more weapons and stuff. It's kind of
surprisingly, a lot of the time, even with the King of the Mountain matches, when they did them, a lot of the time they didn't use weapons, even though they could.
I think you go to the penalty box if you cause a DQ.
Well, that's the thing. The King of the Mountain matches have those penalty boxes too. So,
Yeah.
but it's only pinfalls and submissions.
Well, I think would have made more sense is if somebody got a pin over somebody else, they got eliminated from it instead of going to a penalty box.
Yeah, it would, but again, it wouldn't. Wouldn't be that match, and also they've had matches like that before, so it wouldn't be a new match.
Yeah. Could have called it something better, like the Iron Gauntlet or something.
They could have called it something better, such as
Taking challenge out of it altogether.
They could have called it anything better.
Yeah. So following this, we was told that Toxic A will be facing Diamond Mine on Tuesday for the #1 contendership to the women's tag team titles. Valkyrie will finally be debuting on the NXT roster as well from NXT UK. We've been waiting for this for a few weeks now, eagerly anticipating it. Because it was one of my favourite wrestlers, to be honest, from NXT UK. She didn't get enough screen time, in my opinion.
So needed a lot of people on that brand, to be honest.
No. And we also found out that we're going to have Odyssey Jones versus Von Wagner in a match as well.
Why?
I believe it's because Von Wagner keeps on attacking Idris and Blade. And they're kind of like a three-way stable at the moment, for some reason. They're like a party faction of some kind.
Okay.
So he's kind of sticking up for his stable mates, if you can call them that. What I'd like to see is Blade, Inoue, and Jones versus Gallus. That'd be an interesting match for me.
Sure. That sounds like a much better option, honestly.
But of course, Gallus are suspended until further notice still. Yeah, probably see him next week. Anyway, the main event was Apollo Crews versus Bron Breakker Apollo Crews versus Bron Breakker for the NXT title.
Yeah, and perhaps the most obvious result of any match you were going to see.
To be honest, I was disappointed with the outcome.
Yeah, but it isn't surprising, though. I don't think anyone for 1 minute thought that Apollo Crews was winning this match.
I mean, Apollo gave him everything he could handle, to be honest. It was like the majority of the match was in Apollo's favour, in my opinion. But literally, it was literally just one spear and see you later, bye. Kind of disappointing. I'd say out of all the matches on the show, I'd say this was the worst.
Quite probably, yeah. Well, they're saying that I wasn't particularly a big fan of those Iron Gauntlet things, so...
I didn't really have a problem with them, but that's probably just because I've not seen one before. Right. If I watched another one before I'd watched this show, then I'd probably been like, eh.
I think that's fair, because you don't have a basis of comparison. For this is a new match type for you, so...
Yeah. All in all, I gave Deadline a 7. Yeah. But I haven't watched the Ring of Honor pay-per-view yet, so I'll see which one I preferred when I watch it.
Yeah, well...
I have a funny feeling I know which one it's going to be.
Wow. Without giving away spoilers, because that's not my thing. The main event's better.
I can imagine it is. I mean, I don't even have to imagine. I can probably guess it is.
For those of you who want to taste, if you're not even interested in buying the pay-per-view, there is a pre-show they put out on YouTube. And there's like 3 matches on it. to give you an
I'll
idea of what
have to
you
watch that as well. I'll take.
Yeah, it's Jeff Cobb is in a match. You've got Willow Nightingale against Trish Adora, and you have Top Flight against the Kingdom.
I probably won't watch it then.
No, watch the Top Flight Kingdom match.
Yeah, out of all three of them, that's the only one that I'd be interested in, to be honest.
Yeah, that would be that I would say is the match to watch.
Wait, is it the Full Kingdom versus Top Flight and AJ Fox, or is it just the tag team of the Kingdom versus
just a tag,
Top Flight?
just a tag team?
Oh, okay, I'm not that interested then.
Well, if you've never seen Top Flight before, you probably should watch this match.
Top Flight are a good team. It's just they've been underutilized because one of them's always been injured.
That'd be Darius.
Yes, I know. Not
I'm
Dante.
explaining that for the people who are watching.
Yeah.
'Cause
But
he
you
got
don't know,
injured.
these are brothers as well.
Yeah, he got injured, came back. A couple weeks later, car accident.
Not the best year for him, really, was it?
Well, it nearly killed him. So yeah, there is kind of that. So he came back a couple of weeks ago, and they seem to be up and running again, which is good. Big fan of that. But the pre-show matches, that would be the one I personally would watch. But if it gives anyone an idea who's never seen Ring of Honor before, what you might get from the show. As for the show itself, the match I personally would tell anyone to watch on that show, if you get the chance, is the tag title match.
Double dog collar, FTR versus them boys.
The Briscoe brothers.
Yep.
The Pure Championship match is definitely worth a watch as well.
Always is, really, especially Utah and Garcia.
Yeah. So, there's definitely a few good things on there as well. So if you're a fan of the women, that's probably worth a go-to. Athena against Mercedes. It's a decent match.
I like Mercedes and I like Athena, so I'd probably watch it.
There's a few decent things on there. It depends what you like as far as wrestling goes, but if you had to pick one match out of a lot of them, it'd be the tag title match for me. But there you go. But yeah, you people go and check out and see what you like the look of. Something we will touch upon though before we disappear, because it is kind of related. William Regal.
Yeah. I saw the
Yeah.
I saw the turn coming.
Yeah, it's more the fact of, do you know why it happened?
No. Not really.
Right.
Ah, no.
You obviously you saw what happened with him and MJF on Dynamite, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There's a reason that happened too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He's being written off of AEW television.
Had a feeling.
Because he's going back to WWE.
What? Why?
Because that's where his son is.
Oh, okay, well, that makes sense.
Yeah. It sounds weird until you put that context part into it. It's like, oh, okay.
I wasn't aware he had a son.
Uh-huh. And his son's a wrestler too. So, yeah. His son's in NXT, and apparently that's why he's going back. In which case, hey,
Fair enough.
you know,
Yeah.
good luck to him anyway, regardless, because I personally like the guy. He's very talented. I would prefer him to have stayed in AEW, but you've got to do what's right for you, ultimately.
Well, I hope the apple hasn't fallen far from the tree.
Probably not exactly the same as his dad, but he's got the same sort of work ethic, apparently, which is a good sign.
Okay, so workhorse.
But I think as far as character-wise and the way you are as a person, there's not really anyone who's ever going to be Regal.
I don't know. Charlie Dempsey can come pretty close.
It's not the same.
No, it's not, and it's never going to be the same. But it's pretty close. It's pretty similar.
My point was more in relation to his son to him than anything, because a lot of the time children who've had parents who've been wrestlers, they tend to take it off them with a bit. There are certain exceptions. Born Breaker springs to mind. Just for example, Von Wagner. But most of the time, there is some sort of resemblance, or some things they do similar, or even act similar.
Yeah.
And I don't think Williams Regal's son really takes after him in that regard. And physical ability, yeah, but not in probably anything else, honestly.
That's fair.
And it's not a bad thing. It's just he's a different person, and people need to understand that about wrestlers, because it's always an issue when you've heard her parents been a wrestler and you go into the business, because you've always got that on your shoulders. I mean, look at Cody and Dustin Rhodes. Two very good examples of a very, very big father in wrestling.
You could say the godfather of wrestling.
Yeah. Look at the Flair children.
Oh God, do we have to go there?
That's just an example.
I mean, they're not the same in moveset, but they are the same in marriage sets.
Yeah, my point is David Flair tried it, failed. Then you got Ashley. Because then you got Ashley who got involved. And she's doing okay for herself. But her taste in men sucks.
So I think we should say goodbye to the Twitch people.
Yes, I would think that'd be a good idea. So did they have any more questions or anything before we let them go? Should we cover everything from this place?
Doesn't seem to be any more questions.
Did you do your toxic thing, by the way? Because didn't you get a toxic thing earlier?
Kaylee did it for me.
Oh, did she? Okay. Cool. Right. Yeah, in that case, yeah, as long as they're all sorted and booted, then that would be good to go. If you're going to stream, obviously probably let them know about that. If you're going to stream again later.
I don't believe I am, because Kaylee's got to work for the next week, and she's going to be staying at her dad's, so I'm going to be home alone for the whole week.
Ah, okay. So you're going to have time and then the rest of the week. Yeah, cool. Right. So in which case, people, we will let you all depart and go.
Yeah, we're going to raid out to the bearded chef who is playing Fortnite.
Sure. Keep an eye on this Aaron's channel, and you'll see when he comes live again next.
What do I smell like? Smell me. What do I smell like?
Links Africa.
No.
No.
What is that?
Oh, yeah.
It's like I could have said, but I'm not going to.
She smells like my body wash. Been using my stuff again.
Yeah. Not my fault, but men products better.
She's been wearing you like a glove.
No comment.
Maybe later if you like it.
See you guys later.
Bye, Twitch.
Bye.
You don't have to like get off just yet. Like you can continue to talk.
Oh boy.
Shall we fuck away?
No, not yet.
Yeah, later.
Maybe.
Maybe. I'm not going to see you in like a week.
He's looking forward to it. Oh, sorry, what?
It might be something to look forward to, Peter, but I need my fix before I go.
Your fix of what?
Loving.
Surely you handle that yourself. Because you know, self-love's the best love.
I can't do it as good as him.
You can't love yourself the best just as he can give himself self-love. Okay. I have plenty of questions, but yeah. No.
By damp, you mean moist, right? I'm sorry. But now it's payback. Just do something and torment him and be like, no, you didn't warm me up, so therefore you don't get this.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Kaylee's version of foreplay. Anyway,
Kaylee, do you know what a toasty is?
I'm kind of toasty.
Yeah, what kind of toaster? The food or
So that's a you don't know. Okay.
I mean, no, not particularly. I don't know. No.
Are you familiar with the concept of a Pop-Tart?
Okay, I'm leaving.
Hang on, hang on.
Okay, well, Aaron's left us here on YouTube, so we should probably leave you here as well, so that way it'll be better. So goodbye-bye, YouTube, and we'll see you later.